Despite untold challenges and unequivocal tragedies, the past 2 years have seen many blessings in our parish and transformative movements of faith and goodwill for our community. We are anxious to begin a new and exciting chapter at St. John, one that will be the fulfillment of the potential that God has entrusted us with. But before we do, let's look back and take the measure of what we've accomplished. 2019 was a year to focus on the worship and liturgical life of our church. By early 2020, Sunday attendance was rising as a result of our work. This was just one of the many reasons why we were devastated by the news that our sanctuary would have to close its doors to the public in March of 2020. Though we thought it would be a short-term condition at the time, we immediately went about developing a first-class live stream of our worship services that could reach as many people as possible. Over a year later, we have live-streamed all of our major Christian feast days and countless special prayer services and presentations. We could have never known it, but this program has allowed our services to reach so many of our faithful during times of spiritual need, and even provide access for those who for years have been longing to worship with us but didn't have the means to attend church. We are so thankful to the dedicated team that has helped make this possible every week. In St. Paul's letter to the Hebrews, he says, "Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God." A church which does not strive to help others is blind to God's will. With this thought in mind, we are proud of the work our parish has accomplished over the past 2 years. Amazing projects were accomplished through the proceeds of our 2019 food festival, which resulted in the construction of 2 homes for needy families in Armenia and the support of our local senior services center, NorCal. Of course, charity does not end with fundraising, but also extends to service, which is an expression of our Christian love. This was exemplified through the successful winter shelter program in 2019 and 2020, which brought volunteers together to help feed the homeless during the winter months. It is a source of spiritual gratification that a myriad of programs and individuals were supported through our fundraising endeavors, most especially the relief efforts for those impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. We have seen the fruit of the Holy Spirit blossoming in our community. However, none of these efforts can compare to the necessary and powerful outpouring of support that was achieved during and following the Second Artsakh War. Our matching fund program resulted in one of the most generous outpourings of charity in our diocese for this cause. And our chaplaincy support program has empowered clergy in Armenia and Artsakh to help save lives by providing soldiers with essential items, as well as give pastoral care for the families of martyred heroes. The war itself had an unprecedented impact on all our lives, and we give thanks to God that St. John was fully engaged from day one, not only to lead in fundraising efforts, but to support and guide initiatives to keep our community involved through advocacy and, most importantly, through prayer. None of these accomplishments, which have been highlighted, would be possible without St. John's fantastic leaders and staff. Throughout these past 2 years, Our Lady's Society, with an awesome board at the helm, led by Christina Artemis and Paula Borosyan, has continued to be a backbone of the church, reaching out to our community and working to engage a new generation. The ACYO, with the encouragement and guidance of our youth director, Deacon Charles Teresian, has been a stalwart group clinging to their faith in the face of personal and global upheavals, bringing pride to our community. This was especially the case when they hosted the 70th annual ACYO General Assembly in 2019, one of the most successful events of its kind in recent years. Our Sunday school, under the direction of Sissy Baloyan, despite closing its doors over a year ago, has continued its outreach to our families with a love for the gospel and respect for our children's spiritual development. Finally, our dedicated parish council, under the leadership of Mrs. Catherine Zerunian, has worked to support all the endeavors of this parish while still completing major tasks such as the redesign of the Paul Family Fellowship Hall and the renovation of the roof. Having looked back over these past 2 years, we turn forward to the future and prepare ourselves for the immeasurable blessings bestowed upon us by Jesus Christ, as eventually our church fully reopens to the public and resumes its ministry, more rooted in our identity and more deeply grateful for the right to confess our faith.
Oh.